Hey, what is up, you guys? This is Silver Fang, and today I'm back with another video. So today we're going to be taking a look at Gilgamesh versus Jeanne of Arc. And I don't want to speculate too much because I don't know if they're going to use like all her ruler class abilities, which are pretty freaking powerful because she is a ruler. But I'm assuming the main reason she's here is because I believe her flag can stop all projectiles, which will fuck Gilgamesh up a lot because of his main way of fighting is Gate of Babylon. Now I have no idea whether that works on like magic or if it's just like physical projectiles, or even and I don't even know how she would do against something like Aya. So I don't know why she's here, so I don't want to talk too much. Just please like the video, please subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let's just jump right into the video.
So let's start off with probably the easiest one. That would be Jeanne d'Arc, just vanilla Jeanne d'Arc.
Yeah, and in fact, we can spoil this. Jalter's not on the list because while the very grammatically incorrect Grundament to Hain is very powerful, I don't know if that'd actually help her. It
Right.
reflect attacks and hatred back, but ultimately, Gil would probably not put up with her shit. Jeanne herself, though, is very interesting. So this is her ruler stats.
Her ruler
She's got a
stats.
strength of B, an endurance of B, an agility A, a mana of A, a luck of C, and a noble phantasm A+. As a ruler,
That's
Jeanne
not bad.
is endowed with magic resistance EX. Crazy good magic resistance.
That's
Absurdly
crazy.
B. So, once again, a bit like how we talked about how Karna could kind of see what's going on with Gil.
So pretty much like with I forgot that she had magic resistance EX. So pretty much what I said at the beginning, where if she could deflect magical attacks, it pretty much doesn't matter because she could just probably resist them anyways.
Literally, Jeanne can be like, "You're Gilgamesh, the king of heroes, and you were an asshole, sir." The ability Divine Judgment A, which is basically as a ruler, she is gifted with command seals. She can use
That
to
is
lock
way
down
too
other
OP.
servants. This may or may not apply all the time, but she also has Revelation A, which is a lot like Instinct, but applies to things that are not fighting. She senses the best course of action to take just in her life, as if guided by God or something.
Oh, that's cool.
C-level Charisma and a B-ranked skill, which is called Saint, which just refers to her saintly lunacy. She has the Luminos Eternal A, which is her banner, which is what most people are familiar with in FGO. I think, if I remember reading correctly, and I'm just going to double-check some stuff, that the actual, it's supposed to be super defensive. Yeah, so basically it creates a light which prevents both physical and spiritual harm. Question if Luminos would work like Avalon to block Aya? Like, that's not explicitly shown.
But
That's what I
the thing
mean,
is,
like
Avalon I think works because it basically has Artoria in a whole nother space. Whereas does
But that's the thing, though. It says that the light completely isolates the people protected by Luminos. So I'm like,
oh, gotcha.
is that the same type of isolation? I literally don't know. I cannot answer that question for you. It is not, as far as I know, it is not resolved anywhere.
I will,
So,
okay,
it's-
I'll just throw this out there based on what you just said. Just trying to take context clues here. I will throw out conjecture that probably not the same thing. Just because, like, Avalon clearly states that it takes Artoria to a whole nother, like...
that's kind of weird because okay, let me just let it play. Let me see what they come up with.
space that Aya basically can't touch with Anima Elish. Whereas this is kind of just like a light. It's very abstract.
Also, it's important to notice that that damage is basically transferred to the flag almost, and she cannot repeatedly tank high-level Noble Phantasms. So it's entirely possible that, yes, against Aya, but she could not keep sucking up Aya blasts.
Right. So yeah, something that high magnitude? I don't think so.
Yes, I don't know. Yeah. Let's talk about La Pucelle. Oh, man. As a sword, if she decides to hit people with it in case she needs to chase prostitutes out of the army camp.
Something she did do.
It's an actual anecdote about Jeanne d'Arc. She never
Oh my
stabbed
God.
or slashed anybody with her sword, but she was known to smack people with the flat of her blade to drive camp followers out of the army camp. But if she uses its true name, it becomes an EX noble phantasm that is anti-world, and basically is if she uses its true form, the conception of Jeanne d'Arc being burned at the stake, whatever is before her will be destroyed. She decides it appropriate to utilize, right? If she thinks that the situation, you know...
Yeah, doesn't she have to actually determine the situation necessary enough?
Yes, she can pilot anything in life, but she must destroy... It only destroys what she thinks must be destroyed, so she would have to consider Gil a serious enough threat.
Seeing Gilgamesh a dick,
her own
though.
life, but to actually be like, oh, I need to... You are a high-level threat that must be destroyed.
Have you met
Gil is that...
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Actually that to the world. Like, at Fate's Day Night, sure. His plan, no. Like, that would...
It would definitely work there, yeah.
Yeah, if the girl was not super fucked up by Angra, I suspect that Gil's fucking around would summon a ruler.
Right.
Pre-rulers, but they came up with those rules later, but still, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like... But, yes, no,
If Gil's plan actually came through, yeah, a ruler probably.
depending on what Gil is trying to do in that situation, this is another little bit like Nobu. It really depends what the build-up of this fight.
That's like the kind of the loopholes that there are, like, you know, because like they come up with rules like every so often with new classes and whatnot, and like when you think about it, you know how Gil stayed in the world, in the regular world, after the events of Fate Zero, which means that in Fate Stay Night there would have been an extra servant, and the Grail should have detected that and summoned a ruler, but they didn't. So there's kind of a plot hole there. It's not that serious, but it's there, you know.
If she thinks that Gil is gonna do something that's gonna like hurt humanity or human history or something, she could pop La Pucelle on him, and she thinks she aims it at will be destroyed. No ifs, ands, or buts.
And also, I gotta point out that another reason why a ruler should have been summoned in that Grail War was because this guy, Koromine, he was supposed to like oversee the Grail War. Like his role was like in the church as an overseer, and then he became a master. So that's kind of iffy there. Like he's kind of interfering with like the Grail War in a weird way. So therefore, and then Gilgamesh was also there as an extra servant. So, and then in the other timeline there were 2 assassins. So there's various reasons in that Grail War why a ruler class servant should have been summoned, and yet it wasn't. So, you know, a little bit plot holes, but it is what it is.
Technically, she could tank Aya with potentially with Luminosity Eternal, and definitely with La Pucelle.
Oh, she wouldn't just tank Aya. She'd probably just obliterate the man.
Oh
Yeah,
my
she just
god.
literally- She's like, that's her win. But as the thing, she loses her life at the time, so it's still technically
It's
A
stalemate.
draw.
Yeah,
But here's the thing, Gil is still dead.
that's true. And we did say the criteria is, can they at least stalemate? That is the criteria. That is the minimum criteria.
Gil, she'd die to do it, but she'd get him.
Yeah. Like honestly, I know we could go into more about, but like I think that's like in terms I think that's like just the line right there. Like she should get him, she'll just die in the process. Done.
Right. But that still counts. That still definitely counts.
It's like
I'll give you that one.
let's see here, mesh resistant EX. Gate of Babylon's still physical attacks, aren't they?
Yes.
So
Unless he tries to use the Noble Phantasm for a magical purpose.
Yeah.
true name
I
is
should
her-
point out that Luminos Eternal would beat that. Those are just individual anti-unit noble
That
phantasms.
that's what I'm saying. Like she could tank
use
it.
it up, but she could stand up to
Of-
multiple
Yeah.
phantasms. If he's just throwing swords at her, she
Right.
could throw up the flag and survive like a big blast. And then while Gil's going, "Why are you still alive?" Then it would be like, "Oh Lord, I entrust my body to you."
Pretty
There you
much,
go.
actually, yeah.
Oh man, I still love the scene when Gills is basically using Illuminati personnel to double check John. Oh god, it was such a good scene. Go watch Fate Apocrypha. Good.
So yeah, it'd be a stalemate.
So let's check
and it
out
does
who's
depend
next,
on his
and then we'll
morals.
talk about it a
But
little bit.
technically, she can do it. Jeanne d'Arc, vanilla Jeanne d'Arc can do it.
Jeanne d'Arc was in a point to be fighting Gil.
Right.
If they're having a tussle, she's a ruler and a saint, right? Like, there's no deeply philosophical reason for them to fight other than Gil's
She's a
man,
ruler, you know, so
history and stuff.
it's kind of
Which, to be fair,
it's kind of one-sided.
Yeah.
Well, not
She
one-sided, but
has
it's kind of
to,
because
accepted, yeah.
damn you.
let me see who's next first before I get into it.
Alright, so next we come to my favorite choice on this list, my baby. Abigail Williams. We are counting specifically... Well, I guess we could count her in general
Abigail.
because she
Okay.
she
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of her. People have been asking me to do a video on her. All right. So let's talk about Jeanne. So basically, there's something that they kind of just glanced over, which is like she probably can just lock Gil down with the command spell. Like, I don't see a reason why they wouldn't work. You know, like they had, like Gil, we've seen Gil be controlled by command spells before, so there's no reason why the command spells wouldn't work. That's the benefit of being a ruler. Now, if we say like, oh, she doesn't have the command spells, then pretty much what I said at the beginning is what they ended up coming up with, which is like her flag can pretty much protect her against Gil's projectiles, and then her sword can freaking obliterate anything and everything. So it's kind of freaking crazy, but there is a caveat though. It depends on which version of Gil she's fighting, because the more immature Gil that we see in Fate Zero or Fate Stay Night, her Noble Phantasm would definitely work on him. But then the more mature Gil that we saw in Fate Grand Order, I don't think that Noble Phantasm will be as powerful with fighting that version of Gil, because Gil is not that much of an asshole when he's that mature. So it depends which version of Gil she's fighting. And against like Kid Gilgamesh, it probably wouldn't work at all, because but that's a different story though, because like he's a kid, so I don't see, although it depends. I don't want to talk about Kid Gil too much, because like I don't really know that much about him, so I don't want to say something that's wrong. But like, I know against Caster, or not Caster, well yeah, Caster, but like the more mature version of Gil, I guess it wouldn't work. Or that Archer version that we saw in Fate Grand Order, like the real mature Gil, it probably won't work on him, or it won't work as well on him. But then on the asshole version that we got in Fate Zero, then yeah, him, like she'll probably obliterate him. There's a funny counter though, because Gil has the ability to determine who the servant is immediately, but so does her. So they pretty much have all the knowledge on each other, so it pretty much becomes like who wants to kill the other one first. And another thing that they mentioned was how the flag can maybe tank air. I'm not sure, because they say the damage is directly inflicted on the flag, which as we saw, it can withstand something like Atalanta's crazy arrows, like the rain shower of arrows, but I don't know if it was withstand something like Inuma Elish. Like Inuma Elish is a freaking anti-world noble phantasm, so I'm not, well, it depends. Also, it depends on whether Gil uses Inuma Elish at full power, because remember, like in Face Day Night, I think the regular version, he was shooting like really weak Inuma Elish blast when he was trying to fight Saber, but if he shoots it at full power, then I don't think her flag can withstand it. Now it becomes then, well, Gil know who she is, and then she knows who Gil is, but like, who acts first? Is she gonna be like, oh, you're a dick, I'm gonna use my noble phantasm before you use Inuma Elish? Or is Gil gonna be like, I know you have that noble phantasm, so I'm gonna use Inuma Elish before you can use that noble phantasm on me? It just depends on like which one acts first. Now I do gotta say that Jeanne is a little bit more cautious, so she might be the one to act first, while Gil, even though knowing who she is a little bit more cocky, so he probably would hesitate. Well, not hesitate, like he'll probably like hesitate to use Inuma Elish even though he knows who she is. But like, it depends. Again, it depends on who's first, but like Gil can kind of see the future, so again, it depends on like who acts first. If I have to say, because again, she's a little bit more cautious, so I think she'll like, once she find out who Gil is, like once she sees him and see who he is, I think she'll be more likely, because she's a saint as well, so I think she'll be more likely to sacrifice her life faster than Gil will pull out Inuma Elish, just because Gil is so freaking cocky. So just going by that reasoning, I can see her beating Gil a lot of the times. Now if Gil, let's say, knows who she is and considers her worthy, he might pull an Iskandar and freaking pull out Inuma Elish right off the bat, because we've seen him do that before, and Jeanne is freaking powerful. So, and if Gil knows she has that kind of power, he might just pull out an Inuma Elish right off the bat. Now I'm curious to see what would happen if the Inuma Elish blast clashed with her noble phantasm. That'll be pretty interesting to see, like if they're just like, oh, I know you're Gilgamesh, so I'm gonna use my noble phantasm right away, and Gil's like, I know you're Jeanne of Arc, so I'm gonna use my Inuma Elish right away. I will be curious to see like that clash, like what would happen if a full power Inuma Elish clashed with her noble phantasm. That'll be pretty awesome. That's pretty much, guys, that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. Please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button. It'll really help me out a lot. It will help my video get to more people, so I will really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and as I always say, have a nice day. Catch you guys in the next one.